Hey everybody, I'm so happy to have you guys back on the channel where we talk about everything feminine, including music, media, and news. Hey, what's up everybody? I hope you had a great Thanksgiving and enjoyed some time off with your family, but now it's Friday, so it's time to get back to the regularly scheduled program. So for the past week, Joycelyn Savage has been a hot topic due to a Patreon account that showed up under her name. I actually wanted to wait a little while to see if I was right about some things before I made this video, and I think I am. So before we get started, any videos that I might reference will all be down in the description below. I'm going to tell you all that's been going on, and at the end of the video, I'm going to reveal what I think might be going on with Joycelyn Savage and Azriel Clary. So early this year, back in January, Lifetime produced a docu-series with over 50 interviews by women detailing their experiences with R. Kelly. The series sparked a lot of controversy and people took their sides. R. Kelly was a headliner in a bunch of articles for months. Now, while all this information was unfolding, R. Kelly, first name Robert, still had at least two live-in girlfriends with him whose parents were speaking out against Robert, saying that they fear for their children and have not heard from them, thinking that they're being held against their will. These two ladies are Azriel Clary and Joycelyn Savage. Azriel Clary met Robert when she was 17 years old in 2015 and claims to have lied about her age to Robert because her parents told her to do so that she can have some type of relationship with R. Kelly in order to begin a career as a singer.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held?
So on the other side, her parents claim that Azriel met R. Kelly and went off with him 3 days later, and the parents, couldn't really get in touch with her. Azriel and her parents then kind of fell out over their differences, but of course rekindled their relationship. And as the parents got to know R. Kelly better over the course of a few months, although they did not trust R. Kelly, they still allowed their daughter Azriel to go on tour with him because she was about to be 18 soon anyway, and she also threatened to do something to herself if they did not let her go, which that threat really frightened them because Azriel had a history of unstable mental health. So after that, Azriel went on to be R. Kelly's girlfriend away from them with little to no contact for more than 4 years now. Azriel is now 21 years old, if not 22 already. Now with Joycelyn Savage, her situation is a bit more complex to explain because her dealings with R. Kelly have been going viral since 2017, so almost 3 years now. Joycelyn's parents making her story go viral may be what greenlighted this whole R. Kelly situation to go as far as it had. Because although many people had their speculations about R. Kelly, nobody really talked about the things that were alleged that R. Kelly was doing in the past until Joycelyn's situation went viral, and that brought the conversation back up again. So now Joycelyn is the girl whose father, Timothy Savage, set out to expose R. Kelly in order to get Joycelyn home. Timothy, Joycelyn's father, made this situation blow up so big that Joycelyn had to do an interview that many people were skeptical of because it seemed as if someone was instructing her on what to say. Joycelyn's story is very similar to Azriel's in that Joycelyn met R. Kelly when she was 19 and began to pursue some type of relationship with him, whether it was supposed to just be a friendship, professional relationship, or an exclusive relationship. She wanted to have a career in music, and she claims that both she and her parents thought that R. Kelly was going to help her with that.
That mimosa, I get the feeling in my system that I'm low when I'm sipping on that mimosa. That mimosa, that mimosa. Get it better till like you need it some more.
She's now 24 years old as of July 22nd, 2019. So she would have been 19 from July 2014 to July 2015. So therefore, she was already involved with Robert Kelly when Azriel met him. So Joycelyn's parents had claimed that they have not spoken to Joycelyn since December of 2016. So I believe that this encounter that I'm about to show you was probably the last time that her family has really seen her. This video is said to have been recorded in 2016, which would have made Joycelyn about 20 years old, and it looks like it's wintertime because how everyone is dressed and just how the lighting looks in the house. So in this video, Joycelyn's family is trying to give her an intervention, asking her a bunch of questions, and Joycelyn is really feeling it in the hot seat.
It's been one time.
What was her name?
That's it, but I only
What was
have
her name, Joycelyn?
Okay.
What was her name?
No, I'm finna call.
What was her name?
He's ready to call him. He's ready about. He's about to call him.
What was her name? What was her name?
Oh my God.
What was her name?
He's ready to call him. He's ready to call him right now. He's like, I'm looking at him, about to call him. Please answer questions.
If you don't answer.
He's about to.
Her name's April. It's one.
Who is April?
Joy.
It's
Joy. Please.
Who is April?
Please. It's here. Please.
Who is April?
Okay.
Please tell the truth.
Gay, why are you trying to call
Who
her?
is April?
Okay, you tell her don't try.
Who is April?
You sorry. I just.
Mr.
Who is April?
Okay, yeah.
scaring you because it's scaring
He
me.
cut you out 2 weeks because of Juice.
I mean,
The
that's
same-
why I definitely know about Juice because Juice has been around me a lot.
Juice is the one who trained you.
Juice is not trained me to do anything.
Okay, see, it's not, but the way it's like trained,
Juice is the
it's not
man.
like
She was
we're,
always-
see, but that's, it's
I
not
know
like
I
it's, okay, but the thing is that,
So like I said, I believe that incident was about the last time that they really saw Joycelyn, because in her TMZ interview, she claims that she had not spoken to her parents in about 6 months or so. And since that interview was released July 17th of 2017, 6 months or so before then would have been December 2016. So there was also a video released a few months ago of Joycelyn's dorm roommate who claims that Joycelyn moved out of her dorm by spring of 2017. And then Joycelyn completely removed herself from social media. Her last post on Instagram was around her birthday, July of 2017. So now at this point, both Azriel and Joycelyn are in an open relationship with R. Kelly and still are today. The whole situation with Joycelyn has been very public, in the spotlight, and there has been so much said and done between the families and just a lot more. So that was just a brief summary for those of you who need to be caught up. This whole situation has so many layers to it and it goes so deep, and Joycelyn and Azriel are not the only two women. I'm not sure if there are still more girls involved at this point. Right now, I know it to be only Joycelyn and Azriel, but in the past, especially around 2017 when all this was going on, he definitely had other girlfriends. So yeah, there's definitely a lot more to the story. If you're interested in getting just everything, I would just advise you to do your own research on Google, on YouTube, and on social media. I can't put all of that in this one video because it will be hours long, but I am going to tell you guys the rest of this story. And I do want to add that Joycelyn has two younger sisters, and one of them is a minor, but the middle sister's name is Jailyn, and she will be a major key in this video. So now we're moving on up to 2019 when the docuseries had been released. 2 months later in March, Gayle King interviewed all three parties, Joycelyn, Azriel, and R. Kelly. Joycelyn and Azriel were interviewed separately from R. Kelly, and I want you to take note that Azriel was the dominant speaker in the interview. Joycelyn was very calm and quiet and only spoke when Gayle asked her a question. Whenever Gayle would just ask a question to the both of them, only Azriel would speak and Joycelyn would nod her head. Gayle had to speak to Joycelyn directly in order for Joycelyn to speak. And once she gave her answer and she went to ask more questions, then Azriel would speak up. And Azriel, on the other hand, was very aggressive. She wouldn't let Gayle finish her questions, and she also ended up in tears. So Azriel has also went on social media before to go off on all her haters and cuss them out, whereas the few times Joycelyn has spoken in public or on social media, it was in a more calm manner. So keep in mind the difference in these girls' personalities. So moving on to what's going on now. So it's pretty much national news that this year R. Kelly did end up going away. Then there were a lot of stories about his financial issues, and one story that was brought up is that Azriel and Joycelyn were about to get evicted from the Trump Tower, in which the two of them did respond on a live stream. I'm not sure what platform they used for that live stream, and I'm going to go ahead and let y'all take a look at that now.
We actually just read an article saying that we were evicted from the Trump, and saying that, you know, we were under emergency living and all kinds of stuff like that. We just wanted to let you guys know that that is not true. We are here. We are at the Trump. I'm going to show you guys actually our view so you guys can know it's real. It's Grammy's back there, you know, so yeah, we're here at the Trump, and you know, Joy's parents are all over social media.
Yeah, they know where I'm at.
Yeah, we've been here at the Trump, you know, we've been here for years. We move freely, we come and go freely. We actually just left out this morning, and nobody said anything to us, you know, no one stopped us, no one, you know, harassed us or anything like that. So we just wanted to clear that up and let you guys know that that is fake news, and do not believe everything that you hear. Other than that, we want to say thank you to all of Robert's fans. We see the support that you guys are showing him all over social media, Twitter, Instagram, everything. We see you guys going in, and we are just so thankful for the prayers, for the love, for the support, everything that you guys are saying.
And then Azriel took to her Snapchat, which at this point she did make a Snapchat, and she was posing in different outfits, asking, you know, what should I wear? I'm trying to see what I'm going to wear to go out tonight, like trying to make it seem like she's going out. Because the rumor was also that the girls were not allowed to leave the house. Keep in mind, this was back in July of this year, 2019. And this only happened because of all the rumors that were being said about the girls. As well as the two girls were seen in public when they attended R. Kelly's bail hearing. So on about November 22nd or 23rd of 2019, an old account that looks like it belongs to Joycelyn Savage. Remember, I told you that back in 2017, she completely disappeared from social media in July. So that same social media account that she was using reappeared because there was a new post. So this new post, 2 years later, emerges on her account that says, "There's something I need to reveal. Something I should have talked about a long time ago. This is my story." And in the caption, she said, "I'm sorry." Then there was a video message posted the next day, and this is what the video was. So I want you guys to keep paying attention when I say take note to certain things, right? Like the minor details, because that's what's going to tell you what's really going on. So anyway, the first issue with this post is the fact that she used Lizzo's Truth Hurts song in this video message, and it was done as if it was like a trailer for something. Of course, I couldn't allow Lizzo's song to play, but that is a song that she used. And also take note of how she said, "I partnered with Patreon" in the caption. Only businesses and influencers and other public figures use this type of language when they're getting sponsors and working out business deals. Okay, so most of us know what a Patreon account is, but some of us don't. So a Patreon account is basically a platform where you can upload content and charge your members, who are called patrons, a custom fee in order to view the content. It can be posts, videos, or whatever, but most people use it to upload videos that are not suitable for YouTube's guidelines. So in order to keep making money for their work, some YouTubers turn to making a Patreon account. So then this Patreon account that is supposed to belong to Joycelyn begins to receive patrons at $9 a month. So at the time that I was able to see the account, it had 246 patrons, and this was the day it was released. So I'm sure it ended up getting more than that. But even at 246 patrons at $9 a month, that's more than $2,200 per month that this account would have ended up receiving at least. So the actual content that was posted on the account was basically the same as some of the other women who dealt with R. Kelly. It was written out in chapters, and I don't have any screenshots of the passages, but to be honest, you aren't missing out on anything. It's really just the same thing that all the women went public to tell. And there was a YouTuber by the name of Neek, and she did screenshot the passage because she paid for the content. So if her video is still up, I will link that. Like I said, all videos will be linked in the description box below. Now, there were a few things that this account uploaded that seemed weird to me and a lot of other people. First were the spelling errors. These errors were not commonly misspelled words or typos. At some point, the passage read "flued out," which now is a phrase, but it also said things like "failed in love" and "for instance." Like not with the CE, with the ANTS. Now, with all the technology of iPhones and just how smart these platforms are in regards to grammar correction, I highly doubt that a 24-year-old woman with a high school degree, some type of college experience, an iPhone or Android, you know, somebody who passed the 6th grade at least would be making these type of grammatical errors. I mean, at least she would have Azriel read over the passages before she posted it. I know a lot of us, after writing a long text message, will get a friend to look at it to make sure it sounds right. And in this case, she's about to put this out for thousands of people to see. The girl doesn't come off as slow, so it just doesn't make sense. And the second issue was that this account kept coming for celebrities. The Neighborhood Talk posted a few lines from the passages on the account, and both reality star Tammy Roman and rapper Young Miami from the group City Girls commented on. Both of them spoke on Joycelyn's grammar, but specifically Young Miami because flued out is her phrase. So the account responded, but only to Young Miami. Now remember that part. It basically went off on Young Miami and said, "Shut up, you haven't had a hit since Act Up." As well as the account also indirectly stated that Drake was in their inbox and he should leave them alone, which could be false or true because Drake loves to try to save women. But remember the way that this account responded to these celebrities. So the account was taken down after a few days due to the fact that the account holder was not able to provide identification proving that this person was actually Joycelyn Savage. So it's probably safe to say that this account was fake. So after the account was taken down, the Joycelyn Savage Instagram account claimed to be taking the story to YouTube, but did not give a YouTube account, a username, or anything like that. No link, nothing. Also, this account is now doing promotions on the Instagram page, which I find really funny. So now at this point, I want to switch gears a little bit and turn your attention to Azriel Clary. Azriel has also appeared on social media around the same time as Joycelyn. The difference is, though, that Azriel is making videos, she's posting pictures, she's able to verify that her accounts belong to her. Everything that Joycelyn was not able to do. Not a coincidence that now Azriel is on social media days after Joycelyn also joined social media. Azriel's Twitter account only has so many posts, and like 90% of it includes her talking about R. Kelly, how she misses him, and then she also named her Instagram account Azriel Most Wanted, and is also asking her writers to get hashtag on the run with Azriel. Can't say that fast. Trying to get that hashtag trending, which to me is odd. So take a look at this clip that she posted.
This is day 2 of On the Run with Azriel, and I got some exciting news. Hey, I'm gonna do my very first live once I reach 50K on the gram and on Twitter. So please follow all of my social media. Every single one, I post very different things. So what I may post on Twitter, I may not post on Instagram. So make sure you plugged and following your girl. Aside from that, I just want to say thank you so much to all my writers out there. And the only thing I want to see in my comments is hashtag on the run with Azriel. Let's make that a movement, because, you know, we on the run right now. What's up, y'all?
So as you can see, Azriel is trying to get people to follow all her social media accounts. She's asking for 50,000 followers, and then she posted a clip of some type of media filming setup. So, okay, now we're going to go back to Joycelyn real quick. So in the midst of all of this, Joycelyn's sister Jailyn went on Instagram Live to speak on it. Now, Jailyn has been vocal about this situation since the Savage family went public with it. She even released a diss song against R. Kelly. So in this new live, she says that some people think it's her behind the account. It's not. So this was done before the account got taken down. Then she says the Instagram account did follow her. She did try to get in contact with the account holder and they would not respond to her. And then she speaks on whether or not she believes it's actually her sister Joycelyn. So take a look at this.
So I've been getting a lot of people asking me questions about this live is strictly going towards my sister's situation. I personally am clueless and lost just like everybody else. As you may know, that the Joycelyn Savage account follows me on that account, and I reached out to that account multiple times, but I have not received a reply yet off of that account. So in my, how can I say this? In my point of view, or if that's what you want to call it, I personally feel like if Joycelyn, which I'm not sure, I don't know if that account is her or not. I'm not aware if that is her account or not. But if that was to be her account, she would have reached out to her family some type of way. And if she does follow me, she would have messaged me through Instagram or I've reached out to her multiple times, and I gave her my cell number to contact me and everything, but I have not yet received any type of contact from my sister. So therefore, I personally am just as lost as everybody else right now. I'll be very disappointed if the page that is saying that this is Joycelyn is not really true. I'm praying to God is not what I think it is, as in somebody is just playing around on an account and making it seem like it's her when it's not. So, but I just wanted to let everybody know that, just in case this Joycelyn Savage page is not her. So I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on. I'm just as clueless as everybody else in this situation. I have gotten so many people that have said, well, I don't think it's her. I think your family, or I think I'm behind the page. No, I am just as clueless as everybody else in this situation. I have no idea what's going on. So I just wanted to make sure I just put that out there for everybody. I've been getting a lot of concerns and a lot of messages regarding to my sister's situation. Usually when someone comes out and speaks something like that or say their life is in danger, they will, contact their family. So I'm praying to God that this is not what I think it is, on somebody just trying to get a check off of my sister's situation. I really pray to God that's not the case. But I just wanted to make sure everybody knows what's going on me and my family's aspect of the whole situation. We are just as clueless as everybody else in this situation. Because I'm reading the stories on it, and some of it sounds like it could be her, but then she's making all these slick remarks and how can I say it? Making slick remarks to different types of celebrities and stuff, and it just does not sound like my sister. It sounds like someone is joking to me. It does not sound genuinely like my sister's situation. So I just wanted to make sure I clarify that to everybody.
And then after she went live, she then posted this on her Instagram story. So then the Savage's family attorney spoke on the Patreon account and claimed that the family believes it is actually Joycelyn behind the account. I believe this was also done before the account was taken down. And that's actually really weird to me as well, because Jailyn, who I would assume is the closest to Joycelyn, she's the closest in age, and I'm sure she knows her sister pretty well, she doesn't think it's Joycelyn herself. So how does the family think it's Joycelyn, but Jailyn does? Jailyn said the way that everything was worded is just not how her sister speaks or conducts herself. So I had wanted to wait to Thanksgiving Day to see what would come about and what would be posted on Jailyn's Instagram page. And she did post on her story with her and her family gathered around, on the holiday. Because I don't know the people in that story, I'm just not going to post that. But I will say that Joycelyn was not there. Jailyn did post a picture of her and Joycelyn when they were little girls. And the reason I was waiting for Thanksgiving, because I just thought that if it really was Joycelyn at all in any kind of way, and she was ready to do all of this storytelling and she was apologizing and now it's time to tell her truth and all that stuff, she's doing that right before the holidays, I would have thought that if that was her, with everything, even if it wasn't her, with everything that had been done and said, that she would at least contact Jailyn on Thanksgiving Day. Even if she did not show up or anything like that, she would call her, and then that Jailyn would post on her story like, hey, my sister's good, she contacted me on Thanksgiving, yada yada yada. But obviously she didn't. And now the Joycelyn Savage Instagram account is no longer following Jailyn. But I would just assume that, with these two girls being so close in age and everything, that they are some kind of close. I mean, you can just tell that the way Jailyn speaks about Joycelyn, to me, it seems like she really misses her. But the lack of anything being said about Joycelyn on Thanksgiving, just lets me know that none of this that was going on, not the Instagram account, not the Patreon, was at Joycelyn's hands at all. So then that was yesterday that Jailyn posted that. So that's pretty much where the story ends for now. There hasn't been any updates at the moment, but I'm about to give y'all what I think is really happening with these two girls. What I think is the truth with everything that has been said and done, with everything that I have watched and all my research. So this is just a disclaimer, though I have to say this. This is what I came up with using my own common sense. And from all the information I have found, I cannot say that from this point forward in the video that you can take anything as truth, because I do not know Joycelyn. I do not know Azriel. I don't know anything about R. Kelly's personal life other than what I have seen, just like you all. I'm just someone who did research to see what was going on, and I came up with my own opinion. Feel free after this video to do the same, but just out of respect for some of the people involved and for my own protection, I have to get out that disclaimer that, you know, this from this point on is what I think, me, not necessarily what's actually happened. All right, so let me pour my tea now, okay? So this is what I think is going on. I personally think that somebody created some kind of plan or something in order to get these girls on social media so that they can become, you know, the social media influencer, like the Instagram girls, the YouTube people, all of that, so that they can start making money and make a name for themselves separately than being R. Kelly's girlfriends. Now, as far as who came up with the idea, I don't know. You have to keep in mind that even though R. Kelly is gone, he had a whole team of people that was helping him and who may or may not still have contact with Azriel and Joycelyn. But at the same time, it could very well be either the girls who came up with this idea, but I do not think if they did, it would have been Joycelyn. I think that when it comes to Joycelyn, I think she's ready to go. I mean, think about it. Like, really think about it. Joycelyn is about to be 25 next year. R. Kelly is away and probably never coming back. Both Joycelyn and Azriel still have a whole life ahead of them, regardless of what they have just been through or not been through, because they claim they haven't been through anything, you know, whatever. But for Joycelyn, what would make sense to me is that at this age, a lot of people have a quarter life crisis. They start to reflect on things that they did in their young adult to older teen years, and it just makes sense to me that she probably ain't down with the shenanigans no more. And so whenever it was proposed to her for them to get online and start, you know, being influencers or whatever they were trying to do and make money, that she just really wasn't going for it. Now, the reason why I don't think that somebody hacked into her page or anything like that is because that Instagram account did belong to Joycelyn. So it had to be somebody close to Joycelyn, somebody that knows her, that had to go through and get that information from her, or had the resources to gather that information. And some people think that it's her family doing this. Every time Joycelyn's father or family does or says something that she doesn't agree with, every time their family does something or says something that the girls really do not like, they both either Azriel or the both of them go live. So I think that if it was her family or if it wasn't somebody Joycelyn knew, she would have came and denounced that that was her account, but she did not. Every other time some other stuff happens, they always come through like, no, that's not true, that didn't happen, especially Azriel, but nobody came to say that that wasn't Joycelyn's account. But then at the same time, the account wasn't able to verify itself, which means that Joycelyn did not give up her identification for that account. So that's why I think that Joycelyn knows who's doing it, but she's not want to do anything about it because of who it might be. Okay? That's what makes sense to me. And on the other hand, like I told y'all earlier, to take note of the difference between Azriel's personality and Joycelyn's personality. Joycelyn is very quiet. She don't really talk too much. Azriel seems to be more confrontational. She comes off as the young girl that thinks she knows everything and has life figured out and get out her face because you don't know nothing and I know everything. Like, that's how Azriel comes off. So this is the type of personality Azriel has. So it would make sense that Azriel would be more willing to come onto social media and, you know, do all of that. As you heard her keep saying, I'll do my first live when I hit 50,000 followers. Like, she's trying to get followers. Like, she's trying to get her profiles and stuff up there because she wants to do the YouTube. She wants to get the paid promotions and all that stuff too, so that can start making money. The difference is that Azriel is not as popular as Joycelyn. Joycelyn's story really hit. Like, that story hit. And a lot of people, if you know about the R. Kelly situation, you know about Joycelyn. So Azriel is not able to get as many followers as Joycelyn has been able to get. Joycelyn is already at 90,000 followers on Instagram, and it could have been more. If she would have made a video like Azriel is doing, then she would easily have had more than that. And I also find it very strange that Azriel's social media handles are Azriel Most Wanted and On the Run with Azriel as her hashtag. Like, what are you trying to get at? And then take a look at how that Joycelyn Savage Patreon account responded to those celebrities. When Tammy and Carisha said something, Carisha is Young Miami, when they said something under that post, Joycelyn, or the account that's supposed to be Joycelyn, only responded to Young Miami. And I believe there's a reason for that. Young Miami is who's popular right now. Tammy appeals to a different crowd than that Joycelyn Savage page was trying to appeal to. Tammy is not your 18 to 35-year-old Instagram baddie. But Carisha is a part of that demographic. And Drake is a big household name. So that is why I think that page only responded to them two and not Tammy, because they wanted more traction to the Patreon so that they can get more money. And also think about this. If Joycelyn really wanted to become like an influencer, or, you know, do her own thing now on her own, if it was up to her on her own, why wouldn't she try to lend out to her sister for help? Because her sister Jailyn is that Instagram girl. She has those sponsorships from the clothing company. She has a YouTube channel with her boyfriend with over 100,000 subscribers. Her Instagram has over 100,000 followers. So why would Joycelyn not, you know, try to use what she already has as well as her sister's social media presence to help boost it all the way up? Because Joycelyn could easily have like 200K at this point, 300K even. So why wouldn't she take the route that would make her the most money and the most viable? You get what I'm saying? So I think that's what's going on. I think that Joycelyn is aware. I think she knows who's doing it, but I don't think that it's her. And that's just what makes sense to me. I think that's the truth. But at the end of the day, these girls continuously say they are happy. They have no issue with where they are in life. That's where they want to be. And at 22 and 24 years old, what can we really say? I'm not sure what all the circumstances are. Nobody really is, except for them. Only they know. I mean, we can only go by what they say. I think that all of this will fall apart eventually, so we'll see. Some people think that these girls really have themselves twisted up in a life of notoriety. I won't say fame, I'm just saying notoriety and money. I just think they're caught up, and I really just hope that they figure themselves out. Like I said, they're both still young, both very beautiful. I hope they can figure out the rest of their lives for themselves and find, you know, what they really want to do. Of course, they each have their own truths and they each have their feelings, and they're both grown. Like I said, there's nothing anybody can do about it. They're both grown. So there you have that. So y'all know where to go at this point. Drop down in that comment section and let me know how you feel. Go ahead and like the video because it's good for your edges. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified each and every time I upload a video. And that's it for today. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.